The Presonus Revelator is freaking awesome. The price is amazing. The features are crazy. The sound is perfect. It has an onboard USB-C connector. Thank you. And you're definitely going to want this one. So stay tuned for the good. And I'd say the bad and the ugly, but there really isn't any of those with this microphone. The best part, it's only going to set you back $179. First, this microphone is called the Revelator. With its stand, it reminds me of something from Raiders of the Lost Ark in that scene in the very beginning of the movie where he takes the object from the top of the stone and causes that huge ball to follow him. Am I remembering that even right? I don't know. Who is this for? This is for the same crowd that's already looking at USB microphones, like the Blue Yeti or the new Shure MB7, which is back there that I just reviewed recently. If you're wanting to use this for Zoom meetings, podcasting, or Twitch streaming of any kind, this microphone is perfect for that. If you want to use this as a solo performer to make music, you're also in great shape with this microphone. Maybe the only drawback on this particular microphone is that it doesn't have an XLR output as well as the USB output. But I don't think that's really a critical thing. I'm guessing most people are going to stick to using this microphone with their computer all the time, especially with the built-in DSP. Why you want it? It's a condenser microphone, so unlike the Shure MV7, it's going to be more detailed by design, and it's going to pick up more nuance in your voice and have higher output. It does have 3 polar patterns. It has cardioid, it has figure of 8, and it has an omnidirectional pickup pattern. So with cardioid, you can pick up directly in front of the microphone capsule. With omni, you can go all around and pick up a 360-degree field. And with figure of 8, it's great for doing like a table side interview where it's picking up from the front and the back. So it cuts off things on the sides of the microphone at that point. And the part I think is the most compelling with this microphone is the DSP. It effectively has a full fat channel built right into it here with loopback controls. That means you can use the built-in presets in the app or build your own. There's so much flexibility here, it's insane. And yes, there are over-the-top things in the software that you'll probably never use, like the Android preset, but there's so much that you will use. So, it's a win all around, I think. The Revelator also has a headphone output to listen and monitor right from the microphone itself. And the stand is very sturdy feeling, and the microphone feels solid and well built as well. If you prefer to use your own boom stand or other mic stand, you can do that too. It does include a mic thread adapter that goes onto the bottom of the microphone to attach to a normal stand. The Revelator also comes with Studio One Artist, which is a $99 value. Studio One software is awesome and very usable, unlike other packages. Pro Tools first. It works on a Mac or PC or iOS. It's crazy that the Shure MV7 just came out, and I mentioned it a lot because it really is a great product. But I think I ultimately have to move the crown from the MV7 to the Revelator already because it's so solid and it's so well thought out. Let's take a quick tour of the user interface on the computer while we're here. All right, we're about to be inside the Revelator software. The first thing you want to do is load the Universal Control software from Presonus. This is their, as the name implies, Universal Control. Controls all your basic audio interface functionality. The biggest thing here to note is the device mode. You can have a single 6x6 audio interface, or you can split to multiple audio interfaces that you can feed to various programs. So for instance, I could actually deal with Skype directly and be recording to Pro Tools at the same time and have another thing going and send the channels all back and forth through the microphone slash interface slash Studio Live, basically. So let's jump into it. This is the actual Revelator software window that you'll see when you boot up the program. It's divided up into a few key pieces. One being the microphone gain. So if we go down here, we'll see that this is your basic microphone gain control. You can see on the meter where we're at right now, level-wise. So all basic things here, you can turn it up right here. You can control pan, all of that right there. Next, we will see the hotkeys here. These are basically just one click and away you go. You got that effect instantly. Let's jump back over to broadcast mail. For this one, you can actually program presets on the knob and get the same type of effects here that you're getting on the ones on the left over there. Yeah. I'm not sure how really usable they are in terms of, you're going to use them day in and day out, but everything is fully user configurable here. So no big deal. You can actually load these spots right up and call it a day. Next, probably one of the more important parts here, we have an abbreviated fat channel on the surface where you can turn on EQ, you can turn on compression, you can turn it off just by clicking the button. And now we've got nothing. This is just nothing at all. Now it's all back in. It's just that easy to control on here. If you want to get more fancy, you've got a full fat channel at your disposal. You can control filter settings, gate settings, compression settings, EQ, and even limiting. If it looks familiar, it's because it basically is the same core thing that's on the Studio Live console. So again, it's kind of like a mini Studio Live console in a microphone, which is one of the really cool things about this. Very easy to use. You also do have nice reverb controls over here, and let's listen to that right now. But before we do, I want to go into one of the more interesting parts of this, and that is that this microphone has a whole bunch of mixing capabilities here. So let's dive into that. And look, I can see that I'm listening to my headphone mix. I can configure that by clicking, and I can see where all my levels are. So in my headphones, and you're not going to hear this, I can actually turn up a reverb, and I can actually hear reverb right now. I know you can't hear it, but it's just that easy to do. I can turn it back down. Now I have no reverb. And if I want to click on my main mix that you're hearing right now, I can see the reverb is down. But if I want to turn that up, I can now start to turn that up. And if I want to hear what it sounds like, I can actually click the headphones and now I can hear it. So now I'm hearing what you're hearing, and I can go through and make the reverb larger and adjust all those parameters and hear them in real time. It's very easy, very convenient, very, very cool. And I think that's one of the killer apps on this particular interface. So we can control all those, including loopback levels. Let me turn that off for Skype. So that way you can pipe music in, you can control the Skype call so that the person on the other end can only hear your microphone and not them coming back into the recording. So this is going to give you very good Zoom meeting, all of those meeting things, very good clarity when it comes to that, which is always great because getting the feedback and the noise is just not a great thing. So yeah, loopback levels, we can set all of that here. We can control our sources on the computer itself, because remember, we can split into 3 separate audio interfaces. So we can have a separate interface, again, going for Pro Tools. We can have channels playing from, again, Skype. We can have them coming from Spotify. We can mix everything together, get crazy. But that's a brief rundown of all of the core functionality on here and how easy it is to use. You can see I can control the headphone level here. So we can control all of that just by actually grabbing it. I can actually grab it on the microphone too. That's me turning up my headphones on the microphone itself. That's one thing I didn't mention a whole lot in the video, is that the microphone also has a preset knob, it has a monitor knob, and it has a headphone volume knob / microphone gain control built into it. So you get visual feedback on it. It's just really, it's great. You don't have to have the interface up to get things done with it. So just a very, very powerful piece. We can even switch microphone patterns and all kinds of things like that. In fact, we can see that up here in the settings of the microphone, all these various things that we can do. So again, very, very cool product. Let's wrap up the video and let's take it from there. Okay, let's wrap it up here. Amazing sound quality, amazing features with built-in DSP processing, and the app with compression, EQ, effects, loopback functionality for all the streamers out there and podcasters. Great price at $179, a full $70 less than the new Shure MV7. And did I mention it has USB-C on the bottom? That may seem like a no-brainer, but the MV7 has a micro or mini USB, and lots of other products do too, and I hate trying to find those cables, but luckily I always do have a lot of USB-C cables and Thunderbolt 3 cables lying around. So good job, Presonus. You just raised the bar very, very high. Check out the info in the notes below to order one. You'll be glad you did. If you have any other questions, let me know. I'm Ryan Sloan, and thanks for watching The Gear Cage, and we'll see you again soon.